I just had the funniest experience in VR chat. I joined a random server, and the one I joined had Japanese people, so I waddled around in my goofy Club Penguin avatar that I have saved. After a while, a guy walks up to me and clones my avatar, so we're both penguins. Then another guy shows up and cloned my avatar. Now keep in mind, they're only speaking Japanese. I don't know what they are saying. Then another guy joins in, so I got a group of 3 penguin friends. We just waddle around and goof about. The one of them tries to talk to me, but not only do I not have a mic, I also don't speak Japanese. They figure out I don't speak Japanese and start listing various places. They get the part of being European right. And after listing a lot of places, they ask if I'm from the UK, and when I nod, they all just start cheering. After hanging out for a while, one of them gets real close to me and whispers, "Penguin Brothers forever. Club Penguin 2." I still don't understand the phrase luck of the Irish, because the luck of the Irish is, historically speaking, fucking terrible. I was thinking, what if hobbits adopted a human baby, but they thought it was a hobbit baby, and they were like, he's the fucking tallest hobbit there ever was, and no one tells him he's human, so he just thinks he's a fucking strong hobbit. Then I realized, that's the fucking plot of the movie Elf, you dumb fucking idiot. Why must you all mock me? Do you ever just have that one class, that one freaking class, that just depresses you when you think about it, because, oh god, you hate it so much? The bourgeoisie. Well, I was gonna say math, but that works too. Antarctica is the statistically best place to have a baby because all 11 babies born there lived, making it have a 0% infant mortality rate. And this is a wonderful example of how statistics need context to be properly understood. Next. You can probably tell which family member is coming upstairs by their step pattern, but wouldn't be able to pick out your own. If my own footsteps were coming down the hall towards me, I reckon I would have bigger problems on my hands. Found this little guy in the dishwasher. "I've got a date with destiny, and it ain't gonna end with a kiss," is such a raw quote. I can't believe it came from a Phineas and Ferb episode about hunting a giant metal whale with harpoons made of toilet plungers. Had a dream once that Nickelodeon did a big crossover of all their cartoons, and the main villain was Zim, trying to conquer all the Earths. And when he got to the Fairly Odd Parents, they tried to wish him away, but it didn't work, so they checked their rules, and Zim had scribbled in there, with permanent marker, "Zim can do what he wants," so they couldn't do anything. The only other part I remember is that was explaining the situation to the other characters, and the fact that people like Jimmy Neutron and XJ9 and Timmy Turner automatically just accepted that Zim was an alien made him so happy, he broke down crying. I'm so angry. Some 16th century hole wrote God BWE in a letter as an abbreviation for God be with ye, and it appeared as God Y, which was then read as goodbye, and that's why we say goodbye, because of 16th century chat speak. I hope there's proof to back this up, because that's hysterical. As the proud holder of an English degree, I can confirm this as fact. I wish I had 2 lungs, so I could smoke weed while I'm smoking weed. I want to be as high as I was when I made this. Apparently, at some point when my now girlfriend and I were flirting with each other, but not quite in a relationship, she asked me how I felt about pet names, to which I replied, well, you have to call them something. The fact that I have managed to end up in a relationship is really testament to my girlfriend's patience. In a game with no consequences, why are you still playing the good side? Because being mean makes me feel bad. Because my no consequences power fantasy is being able to help everyone. If you've never physically been in the presence of like a real live wolf, and you probably won't get the chance to, here's some stuff about them you should know. A wolf's fur is so unbelievably thick that you can get like your whole hand into it while petting, and then you can keep going. Wolves are a lot bigger than you think they are. Think about how big you think a wolf is, then just like double that. They don't really smell like dog, but they do smell, and you're not going to be able to figure out if it's a good smell or not. A wolf really wants to lick the inside of your mouth. He will not stop trying to lick the inside of your mouth at any cost, and generally speaking, you need to press your lips together kind of tightly when he approaches your face so that he doesn't worm his damn tongue in there to give you what he thinks is an appropriate greeting. A wolf doesn't really want to look at you while you pet him, but he wants you to pet him. He's embarrassed. If a grown wolf decides to lay down on you, you just have to deal with it, and that's your life now. Young wolves, much like young dogs, are overwhelmingly goofy and stupid. A teenage wolf will see your very fragile, very human shoulder and go, I can probably step on that with my full weight, and then he will do it. Letting a wolf eat out of your hand is actually not remotely frightening, and you'll want to do it all day. I wanna know, who did this research? Well, I did. Lodge Wild Doggo. When you have a $100 gift card to the Ethiopian supermarket. Reasons to love Harrison Ford. 1. Hates Donald Trump. 2. Got his ear pierced at Claire's, because why not? 3. Legit asks people to beat him up in action scenes, even now as an old man. 4. Is arguably one of the most iconic Star Wars characters, yet couldn't give less of a crap about Star Wars. 5. The universe tried to kill him, or at least permanently incapacitate him, twice in 2015, and it only mildly inconvenienced him. 6. Flies helicopters in search and rescue missions. 7. Was in his 40s for the majority of the Indiana Jones series, which is insane when you think about all the stunts involved. 8. Quote, the director yells cut, and Harrison cracks open a beer, and then builds a fucking shed. 9. Arguably sexy. 10. Points angrily, and it's super effective. 11. Is just a really sweet person. 12. No, really, my dad worked with him on Firewall as the tech advisor, and he was just a really swell guy. 13. Got my mom's birth date from my dad, and sent her flowers. 14. He sent my mom flowers for her birthday. 15. He didn't even know her, he just wanted to be sweet. This was a beautiful and necessary addition to this post, thank you. Oh my god. AWW. When he was asked to be in Jimmy Kimmel's I'm Fking Ben Affleck video, in which he pulled up alongside them in a car and gave Jimmy a little wink and an air kiss. When he showed up at the set he looked kind of put out. Kimmel was afraid he wasn't down with what they were asking, but he just said, I don't know, this wardrobe, don't you have anything mesh that I could wear? When he was filming Witness, he rented a small farm from a friend of mine. At the end of the filming, my friend went and checked out the property as usual. He noticed the barn door had been leveled, so it no longer would swing open on its own. Went into the house and saw the closets had been redone. In the kitchen the cabinets had been replaced, and all the drawers now opened really well. Turns out that there were thousands of dollars of work and materials put into fixing up everything at the place. My friend called Ford and asked him how much he was asking for the work. Ford told him doing that kind of thing helped him relax and stay sane when he was filming. Would not take a dime. Plus he paid for a new water heater and got the sewage system cleaned out. And he paid rent to live there the entire time. Local carpenter stumbles into stardom. Where is this may interfere with his carpentry? My favorite part of Rocketman was during the quiet emotional parts, when Elton was at his lowest, and you could hear Godzilla scream from the theater next door. In this essay, I will thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I think I just got whiplash. This is like the text equivalent of when you go to shoot a rubber band off your fingers, and it gets caught, and stays looped around your thumb. Take your anxiety meds with Red Bull to create Slow Fast, the hot new emotion teens are raving about. Slow Fast. It feels incredibly bad. But wouldn't they just cancel each other out? No. They are both working so very much, and I cannot stop it. My cousin and her wife just got 3 kittens named Spoon, Fork and Knife, and when I asked my cousin's wife why, she grinned and said, "They're cutlery." Oh my stars. Flower urchins are such fanciful magical looking animals, and the most whimsical part of all has to be the part where, if you touch those pretty little cups, you die horribly. Really though, what fucker even programmed the ocean? Rarely attacks in open water unless provoked, more interested in other NPC creatures. No interest in attacking player character, rarely even encountered. Zero combat capability. Befriendable. Befriendable. One hit permadeath. Barnes and Nobles is gonna start serving food and alcohol. Everybody's cracking jokes about how it's a desperate attempt to stay relevant in the age of Amazon. But you know what? Props to them. This is exactly what Blockbuster didn't do. At no point was Blockbuster like, hey, movie rentals aren't the lucrative enterprise they once were. Perhaps it's time we become known for our cheesy garlic bread. Okay, but if someone wants to take me on a date to a Barnes and Noble and get me dinner and a drink and then let me peruse the stacks, like I'm not saying no. A sandwich, a beer, and 2 to 5 books on various topics I hope I'll someday read about. Good night. How do astronauts say they're sorry? They apologize. Official NASA. We don't apologize. We are perfect. NASA. I know of at least 2 exploded spaceships that beg to differ. How many bananas can you buy for $5? Australia. £3. France. £5. USA. £8.5. Ethiopia. £25. I have no idea what to do with this information. Weather in the Seattle area is less than ideal at the moment. Frogs are probably loving it though. Frogs in Seattle when it rains for the 39,728th time this year. How to be polite and show respect. In the old days of feudal Japan, a samurai warrior would shout, "You are trying to view Flash content, but you have no Flash plugin installed." Truly ahead of their time. Minecraft will only be a good game when there is a comprehensive cat/dog petting feature. In this essay I'm like genuinely upset that I can't pet my 15 cats, and the only way to give them love is to risk them fucking. We are playing Budget Quiplash in the Discord server. How did you break your wrist? Wrong answers only. Smacking the West Virginia Mothman statue's juicy metal so hard it shattered. I said wrong answers only. This isn't confession. There is a difference between 2 characters who just hate each other's guts and are abusive and bad for each other, and 2 characters who are rivals and are locked in battle but have a deep-seated respect for each other and mixed feelings and perhaps even some fondness, some tenderness. Batman and Joker vs Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus. This post was about the enemies to lovers trope, but I evidently did not make that explicitly clear. So when I checked my notes and saw this reply, I genuinely thought you were suggesting that Doofenshmirtz and Perry the Platypus are the definitive enemies to lovers ship, and it f***ing devastated me.